Okay, hello. Wishing everyone a successful week. Tuvia Schleifer, LinkedIn star. Actually, it's quite amazing, but I'm making videos and you're watching them, and I'm making posts and you're reading them. You're commenting, you're liking, and when I'm on the phone, you're quoting me, or you're bumping into me in real life saying, "Are you the guy from LinkedIn?" It's I guess what it feels like to be a star. So I mentioned to everyone I really exciting news, and it's been a while now. I spoke to someone at Amazon, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, and it was just a wonderful conversation, really enlightening. And so, just to be perfectly clear, I'm not a newscaster. I am not predicting the future. I'm not saying specifically what I was being told or what I talked about with the person at Amazon who I spoke to. But I will talk about some things and put them all together and form a picture of the future that I really want to share with you because it's really relevant and I feel it's really cutting edge and it has a lot to do with things that most people aren't even talking about. So I'm going to call this the future that's just beyond the future that most people are dealing with when looking at Amazon. So specifically, I want to reference a post I made that had to do with the news that was reported recently. In particular, I was referencing a news piece on CNBC that was written by Ari Levy and Eugene Kim. And the title was "The Head of Amazon's Marketplace Has Lost Most of His Authority Amid Internal Shakeup." And that article also came out with a few others around that same time frame. Those within the few days there. Since then, there's been a little bit more. But in addition to that, there was another piece that came out that I referenced using the HAL from 2001-2010 franchise. He's saying "Daisy, Daisy" as he's dying. Basically, that article there was about Amazon really rolling out, investing in artificial intelligence, and I call them the robots. So robots is a very interesting title. In some of the Amazon seller groups, the most popular ones out there, robots is a negative term to mean, those people, those robots, those fools who don't care, who make my life miserable in seller performance and force me to generate paperwork, or maybe they are real robots. I don't know what they are, but they act and behave like robots. I don't mean robots in that sense. I mean that there's something really amazing as I see it going on, and I really want to talk about it. So again, connected to this is a conversation I had with someone at Amazon. And I feel I have a unique vision into what's going on there, and I'm not there. So I really want to share it because, like I said, it has a major impact on everyone. So it appears to me that in the future, Amazon will not be exactly the way we know it now, and what we consider to be important on the platform won't be what's considered important in the future. First of all, big picture, let's just talk about Amazon from like a sci-fi scenario where there's, let's say, one service provider, one provider of that which humans consume in the world, whether we consume data or books or fabric softener, right, or anything. A world where Alexa or our personal assistant can buy for us, a world where our preferences are known, a world where estimations can be made on what our preferences may be. And that's all the front end. But on the back end, the products have to get on the shelves, so to speak. So right now the conversation isn't so much 1P versus 3P. The bottom line is you are an entity, you're a business that currently makes money on Amazon. And it's not so much whether this is not a conversation about which platform is going to survive in the future. It's not a conversation about, do you have authority to sell the stuff that you are selling on Amazon or to Amazon? This is not a conversation about, is the stuff you're selling authentic, or whether it is or isn't, how Amazon's dealing with that, or how you're dealing with that dovetails with your greater commerce picture at large, whether you're looking at Amazon or off Amazon. I do want to say that there's been some recent news talking about the dominance of Amazon and e-commerce, which is true. But there's also been some recent news talking about Amazon compared to retail, e-commerce compared to offline commerce, and the growth rate of e-commerce, and the contribution of the growth rate of e-commerce by Amazon. And that recent news indicated that really, if it wasn't for Amazon, yes, e-commerce would be growing, but not nearly as much. So everyone knows that retail offline, besides all the Walmarts and Targets and all the activity they're doing online, offline is still very much an experience. An experience, will probably capitulate. And there's all kinds of incredible environmental designers and interior designers and people really working hard on every aspect of retail that you could ever imagine, but all translating to an experience. People are looking for meaning. And while consumption satisfies people's desire for meaning, not all of that can be satisfied online. And so basically getting in the car, driving, going someplace, and experiencing that place and feeling a part of that place and having a relationship with that place is not going away. No one's predicting that's going away. Seemingly, it's only going to be more relevant, and the more we see differentiation and creation of brands in particular, whether they're made by the big companies of the world or the startups, whether those startups had some really awesome intentions, whether it was a real passion product, or whether they were just trying to niche a product in and make a little money on Amazon. In any case, something got built. So leveraging that off Amazon is what's on everyone's mind. But this conversation isn't about that. So we're not really talking about specifically where the products are coming from, or whether they're going to be sold to Amazon, or whether they're going to be sold on Amazon. But this is a business conversation. It's a LinkedIn conversation. It's a conversation that has to do with the future of how Amazon is actually going to onboard anyone. Right now, people are a little confused. Okay, you're not confused because you've been selling for 5 years or vending for 5 years. But picture 25 years from now. It's true, but there will be... Okay, let me say this. The scale that we're talking about, the growth that we're talking about, you cannot sustain the transfer of knowledge fast enough to catch up to Amazon's growth. Meaning, you train someone and they hate you and they quit, right? And they start their own business. Or someone else doesn't want to, sell, like me. They want to be a service provider. They want to write a book on how to sell on Amazon. Or they want to write a book or serve clients day in and day out with regard to, I'm going to help you sell on Amazon. I'm going to focus on the platform itself or some niche within the platform. I'm going to jump on a growing area, whatever area that may be. Media, let's say. So what I know, I can't transfer to you fast enough, whether you're a client or whether you're an employee or whether you are someone I'm training to do what I do in some way. It can't transfer enough. When you look at the scale of how many sellers come on board, it cannot scale enough. It can't transfer enough. So the immediate thing that's going to come up for you is like, well, isn't there saturation? Like, why can't it? I mean, what is the whole world going to be selling on Amazon? So this is another point. So before I jump into the second point, let me just round up point one. Point one is onboarding onto Amazon. In other words, the mere opening of an account is not going to be the way it is now. The way it is now, you either get an invitation from Vendor Central or you just register on Seller Central. And if you didn't have any problems in the past connected to your IP or whatever, your identity, then it's not even going to be a problem. And that's not the hard part. The hard part is, selling something, etc. Yes, dear client, I'm back in business today. So, pardon me, my client wants me to know on a completely separate note something else related to something. We'll figure that out soon. So point one is how a person is onboarded is not going to be the same. Right now, it's your decision to sell something, right? And your decision to just log on and open an account and just start. And right now, many people know there's things called brand ungating. Many people know there's things called invitations to special programs. There's qualifications to the ungating. All this is just a taste of what's to come. And what's to come is a more sophisticated onboarding protocol. And that's really what's to come. Everything that we're seeing is not about 1P versus 3P. It's not about your brand versus Amazon's brands. This person at Amazon said, I said, are you guys cheating the system? Are you guys gaming the system? I mean, it seems really, there's like a lot of buzz on the street. You guys are like favoring yourself, right? This person pointed out that the public has no idea, none, the experts, the gurus, as Ed calls them. I don't like that word because it implies, something else. But the people who are experts, who have all the answers as far as how to rank and what should be on top and what should be number one and how to get on top and get to number one, they're working with about this much of the data. And of this much of the data, this much was actually given to them in a correct way. In other words, no one knows. But when we start to actually imagine what it actually takes to rank and get ahead, we could start to, gather some evidence. We could say, well, Brett, calling a glass and not calling a glass a spoon begins to help. And I don't want to minimize keywords and all the hard work that people are doing. I do want to say that the quality of the listings, the quality of the playbook, the quality of a customer having an experience, there's a lot of data there that Amazon captures, and Amazon is just really committed to that the credibility of that. If Amazon's saying customers who like this may also like this, or you might also like this, or whatever, or you made a search and I'm going to put something on number one search result even higher than the number one sponsored ad result or whatever, there's a reason for it. And it's not because they're gaming themselves. There's support for it. There's a data support for it. And all this ties into the incredible amount of testing that's going on. This is all front end. Again, I'm talking about the back end. The back end is all these funky letters that you're getting about send us this and give us that and get us letters. This is all Amazon working out an AI onboarding. Yeah, there may be custom invitations. There may be custom handholding, and they're figuring out how to do that. But you know what? The whole vendor side of things basically pointed out that that's really expensive. Humans cost a lot of money. Smart humans who really know retail and buying and making decisions and helping brands cost a lot of money. And at the end of the day, the best suited person for that job is on your team. Amazon knows their systems. Their system is too big. It's not a store. So when I say Amazon knows their systems, I mean the robots know their systems. So they're going to be onboarding you in the future, my friends. They are. They're going to decide whether you're going to be a seller or a vendor. They're going to decide how far you go. They're going to decide. The customer feedback isn't going to decide. The product feedback isn't going to decide. The data that you barely know how to work with, that they give you some tools to work with, is not going to decide. It's always the computers that are going to decide. And you know what? They could fail. They could fail. They could attack. But you know what? Right now, I'm not betting against Amazon because as a retailer, I might bet against Amazon. As a development and scale as a company that has worked, I don't want to define them right now. I don't want to define what they are right now. But if you call them a retailer, then maybe you might argue if they're a good retailer or a bad retailer. And I was mentioning earlier about the space of retail, and there's all kinds of exciting things happening in retail, and Amazon is up to some of that, right, with Whole Foods or whatever. But Amazon is an entity that I'm not going to name right now. I'm not going to bet against in this particular regard. Now, how's it going to impact you? You're a seller right now. You got to survive. You've got to survive. And if you're going to survive, you have to know you're playing chess. You're playing Go with a computer. And if it's not fully automated right now, it will be soon. So you're going to be on top of your game. On top of your game also means focusing off Amazon. You know, a computer is going to recognize you're a great person because you're a great person. It's not going to recognize you're a great person because you tried to play that computer to make it believe that you're a great person. You know what I mean? So in other words, you know, telling Amazon what kind of seller you are or what kind of size or what kind of this or what you're going to do, or you're going to do it like this, you're going to do it like that. Talk is cheap. You know, so in other words, show me the money is what those little AI bots, those little onboarding bots at Amazon are going to do. And you got to demonstrate that you're up to something. And so that's really what there is to do. Now's the time to solidify partnerships. Now's the time to create strategic alliances. Now's the time to really work things out. Now's the time to have a creative vision other than getting away with something on Amazon, because the robots are taking over and they have no heart. They can't be paid off. You can't fly out to them in Seattle. You can't strong arm them. It's not going to work. There's no one home. There's no one there. There's no one there. There's no one there. And anyone who's there is working on taking themselves out, because these are courageous leaders. You know, if you look at the Jack Welch post I just posted, he said, you can't have a piece of blood you can't have a jealous blood in your body. If you want to have the best managers and you want to promote them. You know, Amazon, they're building a level of excellence that they have to understand transcends a human being. Now, again, I'm not necessarily for or against that. I actually believe in human beings. I believe in God. I believe we have a purpose beyond making money on Amazon. I believe we have a big purpose besides designing how Amazon could be a giant computer and run like commerce for the whole world. We're like, as humans, and our relationship to God are way bigger than that. But while I'm on this particular topic and what's going on here, and it can get really bleak, you know, you could really go down this whole sci-fi tunnel, and that's why I titled the last post Daisy Daisy. But really, it's exciting. It's quite exciting. But if you're a seller or you're a brand creator, you got to up your game. You have to up your game. No kidding. You know, I'm on these seller boards right now, and the concerns people have, the things people are working on, it's like they will not know where their lunch is just gone. One day, it's like they thought they knew what was going on. The next day is gone. I'm seeing guys in the boards go, oh, this is how I used to open an account. And now I can't open an account like that anymore. I can't open a seller account. I submitted all the paperwork. I'm out of the country, but I have my business in the country, and I submitted all the stuff, and it worked so many times before, and it doesn't work. Why didn't it work? Because you trained the computer how not to trust you. You trained the algorithm Think about this, everyone. If you've been on Amazon for the past 10 years or from the beginning for the past 5 years, you did one thing. You trained Amazon's computer. You didn't tell them where your suppliers were. Such ridiculousness that they're taking your suppliers. That's nuts. You know what? If they're taking your suppliers, there are suppliers and they make vitamins for a bunch of people. And you know what? The garbage in, garbage out. You give them an awesome recipe. You give them awesome graphic design. You give them awesome requirements. You tell them what kind of the quality ingredients you want to have, etc. Anyone can deliver awesome requirements. But is that the game you are playing? So, if a customer is going to deal with, should I buy an Amazon brand or should I buy your brand? Like, who are you? I mean, what about for you? What about for your wife? I mean, whose vitamin you want to give her? Your vitamin or Amazon's vitamin? Who has liability insurance that could pay for, God forbid? I mean, use your brain. But this is a way bigger deal here. So again, if you've been on Amazon, all you did was train their computers. You trained their computers, and you did a great job. All Amazon ever is in beta, constantly. So anyhow, good morning. It's the new Amazon. And so anytime you see this going on, what is this? Amazon is working to consolidate the groups so that customers have the same experience, whether they're buying products sold by us or by the millions of small businesses selling on our websites, implying some 1P, 3P conversation, right? But Amazon is working to consolidate groups so that the customers have the same experience whether they're buying a product sold by us or another kind of group, the millions of small businesses selling on our websites. The news is not 1P versus 3P. This is like, I think I'll have to title this piece. The news is not 1P versus 3P. The news is everything that you know about Amazon versus everything that you know about Amazon. Everything that the customers know about Amazon, and it's like they click and they buy and da-da-da, no matter who they're buying it from. And everything that all the sellers have to deal with and dealing with as a seller, consolidating those two groups so that there's one Amazon. Talking about one vendor. I saw some buzz on one vendor. I don't know what people are talking about. There's going to be one Amazon. That one Amazon is going to digest it all. Everything's going to get blurry really quick and exciting really quick. So stay tuned. If no one knows what I'm talking about, just enjoy yourself. Do tomorrow like you did yesterday. I think I was saying 1 point, 2 point, 3 points a while back ago, but anyhow, imagine a funnel and everyone is in this funnel. But right now there's two separate funnels. One funnel is all the customers on Amazon, and one funnel is all the sellers on Amazon, which let's say include vendors. Doesn't really matter. Here's how all the products get onto Amazon, and here's how all the products get off of Amazon. And there's two separate worlds there. And Amazon has said many times, and it can be understood from this statement, and it's very, very clear that Amazon considers these people customers too. These are customers too. Sellers are customers too, okay? But the consolidation here is that the same Amazon that customers know, called Amazon, disappears. There's just you and ordering the product, and other than that, there's really no Amazon there. There's no one home, right? It's not just that they don't know who they ordered from. They don't know if they ordered from Amazon. They don't know if they ordered from Jimmy's House of Sizzle, New Jersey or whatever. It's like, yes, there's some tape on their box or whatever, It has nothing to do with Amazon. There is no Amazon there. So from that perspective, look at all the sellers. Look how much Amazon is like totally part of your life. Dealing with Amazon and writing cases to Amazon and Amazon and Amazon and Amazon. This is what it means to consolidate. This is what it means to consolidate the groups so that customers, which are called sellers, or the people who buy, are having the same experience, whether they're buying the product sold by us from a third-party seller or from Amazon, or whether they're the customers that are considered the millions of small businesses that are selling on our websites. This is called radical consolidation. So basically, Amazon is disappearing. The way they disappear is the same way they scale, is the same way they leverage. And all of that has to do with Amazon disappearing. Welcome to the robots. Welcome to Amazon AI. So back to a few conversations ago. If Amazon's forced to sell, you sell .com and you sell the 1P and you sell AMG and you sell and you sell and then sell and then sell and sell it all off. None of it exists anymore. Sell the marketplace. Where's Amazon? Amazon.ai. It's that little kernel of data that takes care of everything perfectly. Clearly, the new buyer would subscribe to Amazon AI. Okay, so now I hope I painted a full picture for you. As it says, suffice to those who understand. Thank you. Please like, please comment, please share. I hope this was not a bleak picture of the future. It's quite exciting. It's quite exciting.